The following is a presentation of Real Wise Productions and Comey Media Incorporated.
I'm just a pill, yes, a lonely old pill, and I just got kicked out of Capitol Hill. Next on Mentality. Welcome to another installment of Mentality, where iron sharpens iron in the realm of health, wealth, mental health, entrepreneurship, love, and brotherhood, all from a man's perspective. I'm one of the co-hosts of this program, Cole Johnson, aka the Mad Scientist and EP Extraordinaire, and I am joined as always by the other co-hosts of this program. You may know him as Wize All, you may know him as your boy Wize. You may even know him as Mr. Petty. It's Wize and Leffe. How you doing, brother?
I am great, man. I am doing great. Just there is a God. Things are looking up. So so yeah, I'm ready.
Anderson Cooper is opening up about his delay in experiencing grief after the death of his father, his mother, and his brother. In an essay he penned for CNN, published last Wednesday, marking the season 2 premiere of his grieving podcast, All There Is, Cooper wrote, quote, I realized a couple of months ago that I've never really grieved before, but experiencing loss and actually grieving are two different things. Close quote. Now, his first season of his podcast discussed his journey going through his late loved one's things. And he said when his podcast ended last November, he stopped going through all those boxes and it was just too hard for him. And he needed a break. Now, my question to you about that, sir, is even though grieving is tough, what is the most beautiful part about grief?
The memories. When the memories that you think that you remember of these people that you're missing, it's the memories. At least for me, it's the memories and just remembering those wonderful times that we had together.
Yeah. It's the exact same for me. It's, we both have actually dealt with aunts who passed away in recent months.
Yeah.
And I think the both of us tapped into, wow, what really made this person special? And every time I think about, oh man, my aunt's gone, bam, I think of a memory, and it just makes me laugh because it makes me think, wow, that woman was so special, and she just poured into my life in a very innocuous and in a fun way. So yeah, I agree with you. The memories, I think, is what really does it. Because whenever people talk about grief, people talk about, well, it's tough because you're dealing with the missing portion of the person not being here, and it's a toil and it's a struggle, and yes, part of it is, but
It is.
no one talks about the other side of it too, where, and I actually saw it with you when your aunt passed, And I remember the very next morning when I talked to you, you were great. And I understood why, because you were thinking about, well, she was special. She was a wonderful human being. And yeah, it's going to suck. I won't get a chance to see her anymore. What she did touch my life, and man, and she will always touch my life.
Yeah.
How do we don't celebrate that portion of grief enough?
Yeah, no, we focus on the pain.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people focus on the pain, and it's
Hmm.
more than that. It's definitely more than
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
It's cherishing those moments that you had with those people, really reflecting on the time that that you did get to spend with them, and
Hmm.
embracing those times. And
Yeah.
and it's cliche, everybody says it, but in my aunt's case, she's no longer suffering. So she lost her battle
Hmm.
of cancer. She put up a fight, but
Yeah.
she's no longer suffering. And I don't even want to think about her in that state. When I even like
Right.
now, what I'm going through with my mom, right? I
Hmm.
don't look at her as she is now. I look at the strong woman
Hmm.
that raised me. Like
Yeah.
right now, Alzheimer's is eating her up.
Hmm.
She's a shell of herself, but I don't look at her that way.
Right.
So I tend not to look at my aunt that way. I just think
Right.
about all the great times and the moments that we shared.
Well, from one person dealing with grief to another family dealing with it. And this happens to be the Aretha Franklin Estate. A judge overseeing the estate of the famed soul singer awarded real estate to the late star's sons, citing a a handwritten will from 2014 that was found between couch cushions. Now, the decision last week came 4 months after the Detroit area jury said that the document was valid until under Michigan law, despite scribbles in many hard to read passages. Franklin had it signed and put a smiley face in the letter A. The papers will override a handwritten will from 2010 that was found in Franklin's suburban Detroit home around the same time in 2019. Now, the judge said one of her sons will get the property, which was valued at 1.1 million 5 years ago, but now it's worth more. A lawyer described it as the crown jewel before the trial last July. Now, my question to you, sir, is how can this mess be avoided with other families in the future?
Um, make sure your paperwork's are in order before you leave, man. Like, should always have a will and everything, and that way it's legal, and you don't have your family fighting for your scraps. It's a shame that they do. It's a shame that there's always going to be someone that's going to want to contest the will because they feel that they deserve more, or whatever it is. So that person who's whoever stated is, it's very important that you do sit down and 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 write your beneficiaries and decide who's going to get what and when and so it's on the person before they pass to take care of it. It's a lot to take care of. There is such things as living wills and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because this whole situation has just been a huge mess
it's a
ever
shame. No,
since
it's a
she died.
shame. It's a
Yeah.
shame. It's a
Mhm.
shame that that money and stuff like that and materialistic stuff like that can
Mhm.
actually divide a family.
Yeah.
That should never be. That should never be the
No,
case.
no, no. And unfortunately, I've had to deal with that on a personal level too. And it just, you, you, you just never would believe that it would get to the point where material items is more important than the bond that you shared. We can find levity in a lot of things in politics, but I don't think we can find too much levity in these days, courtesy of U.S. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona. Now, he decided to quote former President Ronald Reagan in a conference where he wanted to reference resources and technical assistance that this department could provide governors across the country. And so he said with a straight face and no hint of irony, quote, I think it was President Reagan who said, we're from the government and we're here to help. Close quote. Yes. Now, Reagan did say that. And some of those same words were true. However, the meaning that he had for it was in an Oval Office press conference where he actually said, quote, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Close quote. What does this gaffe from the White House education secretary say about the Biden administration as it relates to us?
When you're led by a sleeping bus driver, everybody else on the bus tends to be asleep as well. Like when your leader is asleep at the wheel, you tend to be asleep as well.
Not a sleeping bus driver. Oh my gosh. I'm like, how in the world could you get that mixed up?
Because
like,
they're going to use the content. They're going to use the context of it in the way that they want to use it. They're not going to tell you the whole context of it. They're going to just use the part of it that they want to use. So I'm from the government and I'm here to help. That's all. But we all know that's all a crock of bull. They're from the government and they're here to pillage. That's all that is. We get taxed on everything. Everything. You get taxed on water. You get taxed on the air we breathe. We get taxed on everything. Everything. Like
right.
I get my paycheck. I get taxed on my paycheck. I go to the grocery store. I get taxed on the groceries. I get taxed on everything. I don't get a break on anything.
Right.
So try to help. If you truly are here to help. Like give us some breaks. Like do something.
We're just getting started. Mentality will return. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the 4 Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Welcome back, Mentality, where it is the ultimate masculine safe space with Wize and Cole. I am Cole Johnson. The more things change, the more things stay the same. What do I mean? Well, welcome to Celebrity Style. The Jonathan Majors trial is underway, where the Marvel actor faces charges of domestic violence. It has begun this past week. Now, now the Creed 3 and the MCU star walked into the New York County's criminal court holding hands with his current girlfriend Megan Good. The start of the trial comes after multiple days following an October court hearing, which during that hearing, a judge denied his motion to have his domestic violence charges dismissed. New York police arrested Majors back in March for the alleged assault of a former girlfriend, and he is facing misdemeanor charges, 5 of them, including 3 for assault and 2 for harassment. Majors pleaded not guilty on Wednesday to his second charge of harassment, as well as the 3 assault charges, according to court records. I will start by asking this. Why haven't investigations proven yet that Majors was assaulted and not the other way around?
But it has been proven. They have.
Hence why I've asked the question. Yeah, hence why I've asked the question.
It's been proven. The cops have found out that she was lying.
Mm-hmm.
This is
yes, sir.
This is a miscarriage of justice. That just goes to show you our court system is a sham. Because a man who's been proven that he did not abuse this woman. As a matter of fact, they found that she had lied in her statement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we still have a trial. This is a misuse of taxpayer money right here. Taking a man to trial that we know is innocent.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, again, this is my beloved state. But there's a fucking bunch of morons that work there. Like, you know that this man has not done it. And the judge is a fucking moron as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's been proof. Like, oh, I'm going to... You know what? It's sometimes people like that judge who probably wants his name in the papers or whatever, wants some attention his way. So he's like, oh, this is a big name case, Jonathan Majors. Let me handle this case.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I can make an example out of him. Yeah. But an example out of what? When the guy has actually run right of the law. And like you said in the beginning of the answer, because that's why I asked this question, that it has been proven that he was assaulted.
He's the one who called the cops.
And he was the one who called the cops, not her.
He's the one who called the cops. But here we are again, because he's a man. Oh no, man! Like this is all nonsense, man. This is all bull. I feel when he's found innocent, the judge should be charged. They need to pay for court fees. The prosecuting attorney needs to pay for court fees. Everyone needs to reimburse taxpayers for this sham of a trial.
So you mentioned the ex who NYPD actually arrested because their investigation unearthed things that she did that was wrong in that situation.
Yes.
I can't believe I'm about to read this, but she was arrested on 2 misdemeanor charges in October. And this was the same day that his trial was postponed. They had to let her go. And the Manhattan District Attorney's Office officially declined to prosecute the case against her, quote, because it lacks prosecutorial merit. The matter is now closed and sealed.
Hold on, wait, hold on. So you have evidence that points that she was the abuser, none against him, but yet you drop the charges on her and you continue this trial against him.
Right.
Oh, we got a bunch of new morons right here. We got new nominees. To everybody involved in this case, the judge, the prosecutor, the cops, all of y'all are nominees for morons of the year. Every single one of y'all. Judge, whoever you are, moron of the year. Prosecuting attorney, moron of the year. These are the moments where people just need to get punched in the face for being stupid.
Punched in the face for being stupid? Oh, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I think we are on the same page as his attorney, because his attorney believes, and I do believe this too, that he's a victim in this. That he is an absolute victim in this is a prosecuting all together.
This is a prosecuting attorney trying to get a name for himself, and a judge trying to get a name for themselves. Because this is one of the hottest Hollywood stars in the world right now, right? Oh, we could get him convicted. Oh, look at the stars and the stripes and all this bullshit that I can get. There's nothing else to say about these idiots. It really is. It just doesn't make no sense. Like, how is it you arrest her because she did what she did, then decide you don't have enough evidence to prosecute her, but yet the guy who is the victim in the situation, just because he's a well-known actor who happens to be in great physical shape and decided not to beat the shit out this chick after she assaulted him. He proves to be a man by not hitting her back and just calling the cops, doing the right thing. And look at what the they're doing. They're trying to bring him down. I can't go. I can't go with this. These again. The prosecutor needs to pay these fees. That judge, just because he don't want to dismiss the case, needs to pay these fees. The taxpayers shouldn't pay for this because a bunch of fame looking for two people looking to be famous, looking for their 15 minutes. That's what I'm looking at. That's how I'm looking at it. Because if you don't have a case against her and you found out that she was the one who's the abuser, how the you still going on with this case? That's just showing me that you just want the celebrity. You want the fame.
And I mentioned already the fact that his attorney thinks he's a victim, and we on this air feel that he's a victim. And I think many out there, when you actually piece this case together, realize he's a victim too. I'll even go a step further and ask this question. Considering that his ex-girlfriend is white and, of course, he's black, do you think there is a racial bias element involving this case?
Well, if the judge is white and the prosecutor is white, I would say yeah. I would say they're like, oh, they weren't happy that he was his white girl.
Yeah,
but I don't know if this. I would hope it's not. I will again. This is 2023, and we wish it wouldn't be. But we know how the system works. Kevin Porter Jr. got into an altercation in New York. Allegedly beat up his girlfriend. Come to find out, he didn't do it. The man got traded to OKC from your Houston Rockets. Got traded to OKC, then released. White boy Josh Giddey is accused of having inappropriate relationships with a minor, and the NBA is investigating, but yet he is still allowed to play. No charges have been brought up. Nothing. This dude is still playing. Whereas Kevin Porter Jr. might not never play ever in the NBA again. So as much as I hate to say that it's a lot of here that's racially motivated. And the crazy thing was when these allegations came out, we here first were like, we're not running too quick to judge, because everyone was already attacking them and was ready to hang them. We here on mentality was like, no, this is like something's fishy here. Like from the jump, from the day one since we heard these allegations, we've been like, don't sound right to me. None of this stuff that's coming out doesn't sound right to me. But people are quick, fast say, oh no, he's an abuser. Oh yeah, got previous people that said he was an abuser. Yeah, okay.
Mentality will be back in 2 and 2. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wize El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wize El Jefe, Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Welcome back to Mentality, where men are men and not machines. With Wize and Cole, I am Cole Johnson, and for one person that deserves to be innocent and prove his innocence, even still, to one who was an innocent of a thing, and I think my brother's gonna really love what we're about to talk about. Here is Politically Speaking. Now, you remember when Wise said there is a God and things are looking up? Well, here's why he said it. Embattled Representative George Santos was expelled from Congress this past Friday after a scathing House Ethics Committee report found substantial evidence that he misused campaign funds for his own personal benefit and committed federal crimes. Now, the House voted to boot Santos, the representative from the 3rd District of New York, from the lower chamber by a bipartisan vote of 311 to 114. An expulsion vote requires a 2/3 vote to pass. Now, that's a heavy lift in the divided House. So that should tell you how bad he has been. Despite the early momentum for his expulsion, Santos' removal was still in question Friday as lawmakers demurred over whether they were certain they had the votes to oust him. All of the House GOP leadership, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, announced that they would vote against his expulsion. Now, speaking outside the Capitol steps, members of the New York GOP delegation, who spearheaded the efforts to expel Santos themselves, took a victory lap but lamented that Santos hadn't stepped down in the first place. Here, Representative Anthony D'Esposito of New York, he said, quote, "It's a sad day. We hear about Santos every single day. You go to the barbershop, you go to church, you go to the post office, you go get a slice of good New York pizza, and people want to talk about George Santos. Santos should have held himself accountable and he should have resigned when he had the chance." Close quote. And take, for example, another representative, Nancy Mace of South Carolina, who also is a Republican. Quote, "George Santos is a donkey, but who, like every American, deserves the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in the court of law. Charges are not a conviction." Close quote. Now, since you have brought Mr. Santos to me, this is something that is all on you because I know you've been wanting this day to happen. So I will throw it to you with this question. What does his expulsion before conviction say about George Santos?
He's a piece of he's what I said he's been all this time. I've been saying this for the longest. This dude is a fraud, a scam artist, a real piece of. But yet, the 3rd District of New York decided that they wanted to vote this asshole into office, even though my man has stole money from his mother's employer, defrauding him of some money, and then this dude has blatantly said that the only reason he wants to be in office for at least one term is to get the benefits. He don't care about this. He don't care about the people of New York.
Nope. Never did.
He don't care about the 3rd District. He just wanted the access to the money, the access to the power, to the fame. That's all he wanted. But you know what I got out of this? Retribution. There is a God. The only thing that was lacking was someone really getting the opportunity to punch that lovable, beautiful, punchable face. That's the only thing I'm missing here, is the fact that no one is able to enjoy themselves, clenching of the fist and just popping him in that beautiful, lovable, punchable face.
The art of going through the violent act.
Yeah, like
forming of the fist.
All 5 fingers, take all 5 fingers, you ball them up, and then you just that would really cement it for me. But I'll take this victory. I'll take the fact that he's expelled, and yeah. Bye, George Santos. You will not be missed.
Sure.
The only thing I'm gonna miss is talking about your beautiful punchable face. That's you as a person. I can do without. 3rd district. They've corrected your up. Now don't go up again and vote in another moron.
I know this probably is an opinionated type of question that would lead to this answer, but I might as well throw it out there anyway. Do you believe Santos is actually guilty of all the charges he is facing?
Do you know me? Do you know me? Yes, I think this motherfucker is guilty. Yes, he is guilty. This is all I've been saying. Every time I speak of George Santos on this show, I speak of how much of a fraud, a scam artist he is. So everything he's being accused of, I think he did it. Yes. There's no shadow of a doubt in my mind. He is guilty of every single thing, every single law he's broken, every single one.
All right. And that was the answer I figured you would give me. And yes, I do know you, but I had to throw that softball question out there because
I know you did. But like anyone who's been watching Mentality, they know I know they know that I feel like he's guilty on every count, on every single account. He is guilty. He did it. He did that, motherfucker. Yeah. He did that. He did it. Yes. If they say he pushed the old lady down to the ground, he did that shit. Anything, he did it. Like any other charge, anything that he did it. There's no doubt. No doubt.
Oh my. Oh Lord. The one thing that I did notice about this expulsion is you had a lot of people on his side of the fence who did not really feel he was worthy of a defense. And it may be a moral reason, it may be a political one, but what do you believe? Why do you believe those who voted against his expulsion did not defend Santos?
Why they didn't defend him? Have you seen some of his interviews? Have you seen some of the stupid shit he says?
I've seen a couple of his interviews, yes.
Like he says some really dumb shit. Like he says some like there's some Republicans in his party be like, yo, shut the up, like please. Like if they put a mic in your face, don't say anything. Like no comment. Like that's the easiest thing for you to say. No comment. This is the same dude who you heard it on the they have him on record on tape or whatever they recorded him on, talking about how using funds and how they should be able to use certain money, political funds that they get. Like it's all on tape. So this dude didn't see anything wrong with what he did. Nothing.
No. In his last expulsion hearing and vote, when he basically ended up having a congressional stay, so to speak, he said that it was great to see due process being practiced. My question to you now, after the 3rd expulsion vote, and now that he has been kicked off of Capitol Hill, does George Santos believe in due process now?
I don't give a if he don't, but I do.
throne. This is Mentality. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Monday at 3:05 p.m. Eastern, 2:05 p.m. Central. Exclusively on the Sertoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where's my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where's my soldiers? Left side.
Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready.
The Lunch Break with AJ, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at noon Central.
Welcome back to Mentality, a show that is for all men. With Wize and Cole, I am Cole Johnson, and there is now a situation where we haven't done this in a minute, but unfortunately, I think we need to do it for a person that we know and a person that I think we have held respect for, but in a situation that he finds himself in now, we invite him to come to the learning tree. Current Buffalo Bills and former Denver Broncos linebacker / pass rusher extraordinaire Von Miller turned himself into the authorities Thursday after Dallas police issued a warrant for his arrest in connection with an alleged assault. A Dallas Police Department spokesperson told USA Today Sports in an email this past Thursday morning that the 34-year-old Pro Bowl pass rusher had been charged with assaulting a pregnant woman, after police responded to a call to a condominium complex in the northern part of Dallas around 11 a.m. on Wednesday. A preliminary investigation determined that Miller and the victim had got into a verbal argument prior to the alleged assault, which Miller left the scene, according to police. The victim was then treated for minor injuries, but not transported to a hospital. And Miller later surrendered himself to Glen Heights police and was briefly booked at DeSoto Regional Jail. And his agent did not immediately reply to a request for comment Thursday morning, and it's not immediately clear whether he has retained an attorney. Now, I begin this with this question. He's 34, and you would think that he would understand to be more careful in situations like this. Why would he be physically aggressive to a woman who is carrying his child?
I don't know. I don't know, because my mindset is not there. Like I'm not someone who will raise my hand to a woman. So
Right.
There's nothing they can say, or there's nothing. I don't know what that thought process is. As it's not something that goes through my head. That's not something like, as much as sometimes my wife gets me pissed off, the thought of me putting my hands on her has never ever popped in my head. Ever.
No.
And she's pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
But no, because
Mine too.
Again, I was raised by 2 women.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't want no man to lay a finger on them.
Right.
So who am I to lay a finger on any woman? No. Listen, Von Miller, you're a great player. You're at the tail end of your career.
Mm-hmm.
This sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know the details. I don't know what happened exactly. It's again, it's he said, she said, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no reason for any man to put their hands on any woman. Point blank.
None.
Point blank.
Zero.
And to me, a man who does that is not a man.
100.
We are here to protect our women. We're here to protect our queens.
Say that again, sir.
Do not get it twisted.
Yes.
I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I can't say he did it or not. Again,
right.
I do believe in due process.
Of course,
right?
And I do too.
So let him have his day in court.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks. This men, we need to do better. No matter how hard or how mad you might get or whatever the situation, we need to do better. Keep your hands to yourselves.
Yeah. What I find alarming about this situation and with him, with Von himself, is that he got into a little bit of some sexual assault trouble in Colorado back in 2021, almost 3 years ago now. It was about the winter of 2021. Now, being in this situation here in Dallas, that's almost 3 years later, do you think he learned anything from his 2021 trouble with Colorado, which involves sexual assault allegations? And to lay it out for you, so there was charges placed against him. I think it was in January in 2021, and then in March, the state of Colorado said, "Well, there's not enough to continue to go forward." Basically, like we would want what the state of New York to say about Jonathan Majors, but they haven't yet.
Yeah.
But do you think that Von Miller learned anything from that situation as just opposed to his current one here?
No.
That's what I thought, my man.
No, because if he would have learned from that situation, this situation wouldn't have arisen. No matter what, like, I don't care what she did to him. I don't care if she hit him, leave the house, leave.
Right.
Leave.
Yeah.
You've already dodged one bullet in Colorado. You avoided that situation. Now you put yourself in a similar predicament. Listen. And the thing is, this is just shining a light on football players. Like, this is a violent, aggressive sport. So what is it going to say? What message is it going to send? They're going to send that football players are violent, aggressive people, and that their women are the ones that are going to suffer and get beat down and all this nonsense.
In a text message that was exchanged between the victim and Dallas TV station WFAA, the victim told a reporter that things were blown way out of context, and she called the incident a huge misunderstanding. And she said no one assaulted anyone, and it's insane and it's sad. However, the affidavit, though, said the following, quote, "The victim told police that she had got into an argument with Miller over travel plans. She said that she said that he shoved her, put a hand around her neck, pulled her hair, and stomped her laptop as she attempted to leave the room. Close quote. Now, similar things were said about what I told you about the 2021 case in Colorado years back, where the woman basically said, well, there's really nothing to see here. Contrasting the affidavit that she put forward toward police. Why are we getting conflicting information for the victim already?
Because he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, baby. It'll never happen again. I didn't mean to do that."
You brought him on the team for two reasons: for pass rushing and for maturity, and and championship experience and veteran leadership. You can't follow that if the dude off the field is like, screw the honey. She gets she gets out of pocket. I'm gonna lay the heavy hand on her. You can't follow that. You can't follow that. So if you were the Bills, how would you pursue this going forward?
Oh, with all the drama that's going up in Buffalo as it is, right? Ken Dorsey getting fired. Now you have the Von Miller situation. Inactive list for the rest of the year. I don't know. I hate to be. I hate for, because again, like you said, she's retracting her statement. She's trying to say nothing happened. It's being blown out of proportion, right? I'm not for anyone losing their jobs or whatever, but something has to be done. I would say suspend them for the rest of the year. That would be my thing, because it's going to be a distraction in the locker room.
Remember, one is an accident, two is a trend. And unfortunately, sir, we're seeing a trend form. Head it off before the third one happens, because then when it's three, there's a problem. And now, thoughts from the throne.
I curse a lot on this show. I know I do. I'm trying my best to cut that out. But it's all out of fun, man. But I just want to just say thank you to everyone out there for the support that you've given Mentality, because it's been great. It's been great, the feedback, and just being able to do this and have a great time while I get to work with my brother, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for everything that's going on in my life, the good and the bad. And I all I can do is just be the best version of myself possible. Am I perfect? No. No one is. I'm human. And yes, I get on George Santos and I talk about Jason Whitlock and all these other morons. But deep down inside, it's entertainment. This is all entertainment. We're here to show people that, hey, life is hard, but there's outlets you can go to entertain yourself and get to hear from two brothers that really do care about what they're doing. and the image that they present and everything. So thank you everybody out there for the support. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm just looking forward towards what 2024 is going to bring for everything that's Real Wise Productions and Comey Media related.
I'll give you 2 examples of where I was protecting my loved one without even resorting to violence or even needing to. And both examples involve my wife. The first one being when we were dealing with my mother-in-law and she had a momentary lapse of literal judgment. And she asked the question to my wife who she was, what was her name. And she asked it 5 minutes later. And she asked again 5 minutes after that. Well, after the third time that was asked, my wife being stoic and not showing anything in terms of emotion outwardly to my mother-in-law, had a tear run down the left side of her face. And all I could do was just wipe the tear and grab her hand. And she appreciated that. Fast forward to the next day when we had Thanksgiving dinner, where we got sage advice from an older gentleman, an older cousin in our family. And in the midst of her talking about the experience that really is hurting, she toughened up, but she was crying severely. And then I reached down, I grabbed her hand, and then she latched onto it tight. And that's when I knew she was really enjoying the support of me being there by her. Protect your women. They love you for it, and they'll love you more for it. That's why you're here. And those are thoughts from the throne. All right, sir. Anything else for the mentality audience before we let them go?
No. I think I'm just go have me a celebratory shot and and celebrate the fact that George Santos is expelled. Like, again, thank you, God. Appreciate it.
We thank you for liking. We thank you for sharing. We thank you for subscribing. We thank you for even commenting, because your comments mean a lot to us too. It lets us know that we're on the right track. And we thank you for hitting that notification bell so you can catch any and all content that emanates from the wonderful Real Wise TV YouTube channel or the Cohen Media YouTube channel. For Wize and Leffe, I'm Cole Johnson, here to say in parting, as we always do, our secret technique is that we always speak with mentality. See you next week.
That's 100.